Oh! Greetings, weary traveler. Have you come to hear a tale? Do you wish to hear my musings of a video game console lost to the ages?
Hey y'all, Ryan here. That's about the last of that voice I'm gonna do. Nintendo's shutting down the eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS on March 27th, 2023. And that's probably today, is probably when I'm dropping this video. And as I was scooping up a few games before the shop shuts down for good, it felt like the right time to talk about my favorite console that's named after the sound an ambulance makes. The Wii U is Nintendo's worst-selling mainline console of all time. How did that happen? I don't know, and I didn't try to figure it out. I just wanted to build a blanket for it. If I had to guess, the big reason is probably abysmal marketing. No one knew what the Wii U was or that it even existed, and it didn't help that it had Wii in its name, so a lot of people, myself included, probably thought that it was an extension of the Wii rather than a brand new console. Conversely, the Switch and the Wii are two of Nintendo's best-selling consoles of all time, and those were expertly marketed. You remember the commercial where the guys go door to door and they're like,
"We would like to play."
It was genius. I still think about that one all the time. So despite being Nintendo's biggest commercial failure, does that make the Wii U a bad console? At the end of the day, what makes a console good? Is a good console innovative at the time of release? Does a good console have good games on it? Is a console good if I pick it up 10 years after release and still think it plays well? I think more innovative consoles inherently hold up worse. I think the thing that makes them new and exciting is usually the thing that shows its age the most. I mean, when was the last time you held a Wiimote? I remember in 2006 holding one of these and feeling like I had the power of God. And now when I hold one of these, I just think about how I don't own any AA batteries. And I bet in 10 years, when we're all playing the Nintendo 65 and I pick up my Switch, I bet this will feel clunky and outdated. Consoles that do hold up well, I think the GameCube, 64, Super Nintendo, probably all the PlayStations. I wouldn't know because I never owned one, but I'm kind of just guessing. Because those all just had good games and you just played them and you didn't need a stupid ass peripheral to make the console work. Speaking of stupid ass peripherals, the Wii U's big innovation was dual screen gameplay. Now I know what you're gonna say. Nintendo had done dual screen gameplay with the DS 8 years prior to the launch of the Nintendo Wii U. Well, guess what? Shut up, nerd. I genuinely do believe that the Wii U uses its two screens in unique and interesting ways. Because the two screens are separate from each other, it allows for some really cool stuff, like with Nintendo Land was the best application. Fuck. Nintendo Land was the best application of this, I think. I really liked the Luigi's Mansion game where the player on the gamepad is a ghost and they have a different view of the map than everyone else. And the other players are on the TV and they're trying to hunt the ghost. And a lot of the multiplayer games work like that, where the gamepad player has a different view and they have a different goal. And because their screen is separate from the other screen, they can do something unique or have a different advantage over the other players. That and Wind Waker's use of the gamepad as a map was really cool. Having an interactable map that I didn't have to pause to access while I was like sailing around the sea was really cool. And it really just makes an adventure game feel that much more authentic. The gamepad also had, and wow, I didn't even attempt to clean my gamepad before making this video, but it also had a front-facing camera and a touchscreen and a microphone and a gyroscope and NFC capabilities. Huh. What would you use NFC capabilities for? Oh, that's right. Amiibos. 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 I love these guys. this is probably my favorite thing to come out of the Wii U era. In Smash, you could like train them and they could be like a good computer player to fight against. And in Zelda, you could get extra fish or whatever. But mostly I just liked them because they look really good. And some of the more detailed ones are really detailed. That's very good criticism. Unfortunately, I feel like there really aren't many games that used the gamepad to its full potential, but I'm kind of also okay with that because I think I would have rather had a few good-ass games as opposed to a bunch that tried to execute gimmicks poorly. Speaking of good-ass games, the Wii U has some good-ass games. One of the best, if not the best, catalogs of first-party Nintendo titles on a Nintendo console, and I will die on that hill. You got Pikmin 3, New Super Mario Bros., Splatoon, Captain Toad, Donkey Kong, you got Rayman, you got 3D World, it's probably the most slept on 3D Mario game, you got Smash, you got Mario Kart, you got Zelda, you got Breath of the Wild on that. Breath of the Wild is probably one of the best video games ever. And guess what? All those titles got ported to Switch, or they have sequels on the Switch. And one interpretation of that is that Nintendo wanted consumers to play good games that they didn't otherwise get to experience. Another interpretation of that is that it was a cash grab, and Nintendo's gonna charge you $60 for Mario Kart 8, a game that came out nearly 10 years ago. But guess what? You'll pay full price for it, and you'll like it, because that's the oath we took as Nintendo fanboys. Regardless, the Wii U also has backwards compatibility with the Wii, which is a thing that is conveniently impossible for developers to implement on new consoles today. Combine backwards compatibility with an extensive Combine backwards compatibility with an extensive Combine backwards compatibility with an extensive catalog of digital downloads from basically every other Nintendo console ever, and combine that with the ability to homebrew your Wii U, which allows you to put GameCube games on it through illicit means that I would never do myself and I would never endorse. But basically, all that means that you can play basically every Nintendo game ever on the Wii U. And not that games make a console good, but also it does. Finally, this is the first Nintendo console to have HD resolution, which by today's standards is the bare minimum. But at the time, it blew my mind, especially considering that the Wii only ever put out 480p. And I actually bought my Wii U because I played Mario Kart 8 at a friend's house, and HD Mario blew my mind, and I had to have it. Again, not necessarily a huge innovation, but I think that's something that will help the Wii U age well. The day that we get 4K Nintendo will be sick. But also, because they tend towards style rather than realism, its HD games I think will hold up really well. Style always ages better than realism. Basically, with all that, I kind of just wanted to ask, what makes a console good? Is a good console innovative? Do good games make a console good? Or is a console good if I pick it up 10 years in the future and it still holds up? I don't know the answer to that question, but as far as the Wii U goes, I think it's pretty good. To quote the ever-wise bass legend Thundercat, only a true gamer knows the importance of keeping up with Nintendo. The Wii U is a fantastic gaming unit, and I don't care what anybody says. If you want to keep your girlfriend, you get a Wii. If you don't want her to think you're a psychopath, you play Mario Kart. See ya.
I just bought a crib on top of the hill.